All right. Good evening, everybody. We are live, as you can clearly see, I hope. You never know with this shit. Let's see, who do we got there in the YouTube chat so far? We got Mr. Jason Stewart, who is also on the panel, Ron 2A Matters, and Tulai Moo, who is, again, also on the panel. So we got two panelists and the other Ron. So, there's Stacy's out there. Probably happy because Snob's not home.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, it's your perfect chance, Jason. Get out to Oklahoma.
On the way.
But speaking of the panel, like I said, we have Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm hanging in there, man. How are you guys?
Not too bad, not too bad. Chris from 740's just jumped in there in the YouTube chats as well. So evening to you, Chris. There's Jacob S. And Jacob, because you were asking about links last week, I did put you on the list and sent you a link this week. So if you want to jump in anytime to be on the panel, you're more than welcome. And next we have Mr. Tulai Moo.
Good evening, everybody.
Is calling him Mr. too much respect, Jason? Or is it appropriate?
Yeah.
Well, it's not Ms. or Mrs., so yeah.
I guess he's long enough in the tooth. We'll let him get it, mister.
Alrighty. So, I'm hoping everybody saw what the topic for this week is, because it's rather interesting. Do either one of you guys get Smith & Wesson's emails?
No, but I check into the forum occasionally.
Well, Smith & Wesson this week have sent out a couple of interesting emails. So, should I show you?
Yep.
Sure.
Right, I got to figure out which one's which here. Okay, yes, this is the first one. Tell me what you don't see on these revolvers.
Must be the internal safety Hillary hole.
Yeah, there's no Hillary hole on these revolvers. You can now get a Model 10, a Model 19, and a Model 36 without the Hillary holes. They join other J-frames like the 642 and a couple others that don't have the Hillary hole already, that they've been doing those without Hillary hole for a while, if you can find one. So I thought these were cool. I love the idea of a 19 without the Hillary hole.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know what? I saw a year or so ago, and they were kind of like a classic model, and they didn't have the Hillary hole.
That's what I mean.
I think one was a 19.
Well, this one they just released it. Because that's what this email is about, introducing the model, these models. So there are other models that they were already doing without the Hillary hole. There might be another variant of the 19 that's that way already.
If you're showing it's not coming up on YouTube, Rich.
Huh? I know what I did. Okay, hold on. Hold on, YouTube folks. I forgot to click the presentation button. There we go.
Also, YouTube folks, I tried to join the chat and it wouldn't let me, so I tried to say hi to everybody. So it said, just give me problems, wouldn't do it.
Oh, DM Foss out there being a smart aleck. Okay. But everybody can see now what I was talking about, I hope.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, I thought these were kind of cool. And then also today, they released another one. So let me close this one. Studio. And we will share this one. These ones are cool, really cool too. Probably cooler than the classics, to be honest. You know what that is? Any guesses?
Oh, I got a little tiny picture on my screen.
Oh, you're on your phone. Turn it sideways. Maybe that'll make it float up.
Nada. I see it's stainless.
Yeah. You can't read the caliber on it.
Yeah, I see
Mm,
357.
Yeah, it's a
oh, I get
357.
the thumbnail.
That is what they're calling one of their mountain guns that they're releasing in collaboration with Lipsies. Kind of cool. They got a lightweight tapered barrel, smooth combat trigger, Patridge front sight, round butt frame, and they're calling it the perfect lightweight sidearm for hunters, fishers, and outdoorsmen. And additionally, they have no Hillary hole, no internal lock on them.
Is it
Oh.
6 rounds?
Nope. This is the 686 shown right here. That's actually a 686 plus. That's the 7-round model.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
say I see three empties sticking out on the side. So yeah, that would be
Yeah.
a plus.
Yeah. And then they also have it.
It's
See
629.
Yeah, see some of the features there. I like the look of those stocks. You know, the grips, those are really pretty. Walnut. And there's the 629.
Well, all I can say is that was one that I'd be interested in trying one now without the Hillary holes. But now that the hole's gone, did they in the lock system? Did they like knock $100 off the price?
Probably not. I'm gonna go on a limb and say probably not.
Oh, for 24 years, you just got that for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't want to pay more for less.
Well, look at it this way, Jason. You don't have to take the damn hole out, you know, the lock out of it, and then pay somebody else to weld it shut for you, which is what a lot of people have done
Yeah.
over the years.
All in all, it's still $500 cheaper than a Colt.
Hey, more than that in some cases. So, what do we think? Good idea for Smith to be getting rid of it, and do you think they're going to get rid of more of them?
I think
Going
it's an
forward?
awesome idea. Makes me very interested in. I'd be interested in having a new round of a lot of their stuff if that Hillary hole in that lock system was gone. That's just been, man, that's just been like a thorn in the side, you know. All these years of having that, I just kind of have just never considered a brand new Smith and Wesson because of that. So, you know what? It's been over 20 years they've been putting that on there. Like I said, it's kept me from buying their product for 20 years. So I'm interested.
Yeah, I like it.
I was hoping they would have had a 27 in that classic edition without the Hillary hole. That would be quite cool. Of course, you both know the history of that about me in a Smith and Wesson 27.
Yeah. Now, if they would, now if they got rid of the Hillary hole, if they would do a little more blued guns, I don't mean black, I mean blued guns. Uh, I know they do them, but they're always hard to get a hold of. If they could just up production or supply on some blued models, man. Think maybe they could, I don't know, maybe remake a name for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm sure Colt's doing very well with bringing back the Python, even though everybody hated them at first.
Oh, that blue Python is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're making them so like Smith and Wesson's getting left out of the game here. They need to revive some good old days. You know what I mean?
That's what they were talking about on the Smith and Wesson forum. Is they're like, okay, they're feeling the heat now that Colt's back out and they don't have that stupid hole.
Yeah, I mean, if it'd be a shame if they didn't. If both of them, like, I'm proud of Colt to bring that up and step their game up a little bit or whatever, because we're kind of stuck in the deal. Like, none of us can get their hands on an old Python. We're not going to pay that price. Even if you get one, it's delicate and finicky, and you can't really. And even the Smiths, like the ones I own are, I like no dashes and dash ones, dash threes, but like, you're buying a very, very old gun, 40, 50-year-old gun because of the precision and it's made good. But you got to treat it different. It's already earned its respect, but like buying a used gun, somebody else has already broke it in and worn it out. Kind of left out of the Smith & Wesson, left out of the market of a brand new gun that you can be yours and you can break it in, you can wear it out and do whatever, you know what I mean? And on the other hand, it's brand new. If it breaks, it's easily fixable or it's easily replaceable, you know what I mean? But I think that Hillary hole's hurt them worse than they would have probably imagined for years. It just identifies their product with the model that people don't want, so they might have a surge in sales now that the lock's gone, and like maybe a new start for them, man.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about my 627 is that it does have the internal lock on it. But if you want a 627, you weren't going to find an old one. Nobody was selling them.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Moo?
I don't know. I forgot.
You're good for that.
Yeah.
No, I'm a little picky on stuff, but I also like to work on stuff and make it better. I've picked up a lot of Smiths over the years, these newer ones, where I was going to buy them anyways, Hillary hole or not, and just like the trigger was terrible, man. And like, I know it could be fixed, and that would be a lot of fun. But like, combination of the bad trigger and the Hillary hole is just never enough for me to buy one. So even now, if the particular one that my dealer has available for, if the trigger ain't so bad, I'd still be willing to go for it. Give you something to put a trigger job on,
Like I said earlier, you can actually remove the locking mechanism from that Hillary hole, and you get a good gunsmith that knows how to do the welding and stuff. They can weld that close, and you won't even know it was there.
I would know it was there, Rich. That's the problem.
Well, it wouldn't be. If you think about it, it wouldn't be anymore because the lock wouldn't be there and the hole wouldn't be there, so it wouldn't matter anymore.
I've seen some hack jobs on somebody trying to fill that hole too.
Yeah, so have I. That's why I say get a good welder that knows what they're doing.
Well, there is a lock model or two maybe that I would be interested to purchase. That was because they had them around here. I'm sure they're all gone. But you could get like highway patrol
Mm-hmm.
service pistols and Department of Correction service pistols.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Hillary holes with the locks removed already.
Yeah.
A few years ago, you could pick those up cheap. So if I haven't ran across one of those, because of the other factors of it, I'd buy one of those.
Yeah. I think Scotsman has one of those, Model 28. But here's the thing, right? With Smith and Wesson, the 28 and 27 are basically the same gun. The only difference is the 27 has the adjustable target sights and the 28 doesn't.
Gutters.
It has no, it's not a gutter, it's a fixed sight. It looks like the adjustable sight, but it doesn't have the adjustment capability on it.
File
what,
fit.
what were you going to say? Remind me of your 627 story. You said you had a story.
Oh, the Model 27.
Or 27, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't know?
Remind me.
Okay. My grandfather, the day I was born, bought a 27, and I was supposed to get it in his will. My family screwed me over, and I don't have a Model 27.
Huh. Who's got it?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, I was supposed to get my grandfather's double barrel 12 gauge too, and my uncle screwed me out of that.
That was the gun that my grandfather started me shooting 38s out of when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So, yeah. To say I was a little ticked off about not getting that gun when he died would be an understatement.
My dad had a lot of guns I would like to have had too.
Yeah.
You know what his last words were?
Yeah, keep in mind we're talking a vintage 1974 model, so there would have been no Hillary hole. The Hillary hole was 20 years down the road from that being manufactured.
Yeah, the only the only Smith revolver I have without a Hillary hole is my 625.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Smith and Wesson should let you trade one of the old ones with the Hillary holes back in for a new one, like cash for clunkers.
I like it.
If they did with a 627, I might.
Trump should subsidize that.
Yeah.
Get rid of the Hillary hole.
But then I'd have to find the original grips that were on it, and I don't know where they are. They're boxed up somewhere. Because I'm not turning it in with those wood grips I paid for on it. Let's see. Who we've been joined by anybody else in the chat? Let's see. We got Ron Wayne out there. Evening, sir. We got DM Foss, Buck, Ashley G. I guess she's not an A anymore. She dropped down to a G. I already said hi to Chris, so I think that's it. I think that's all the new peoples. Yeah. Sorry I didn't say hi to you folks earlier, but having multiple screens open, looking at the pictures and whatnot.
Yeah, and once again, I can't get chat going. So hi once again to everybody in the chat. Go Bucks.
You take Tuesday off, Jason?
Yeah, I pretty much got the whole week off.
Either crying or partying, huh?
Probably a whole bunch of stuff this week. I'm gonna sit home all day tomorrow and start out. I'm gonna watch Trump all day long and get ready for the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's a good game. Should be.
It's gonna be like 0 degrees in the morning. Like I already prepared a little while ago. Went to the store, food, pop, cigarettes. I'm not leaving at all in the morning.
They're playing in the Orange Bowl, aren't they?
No, the Orange Bowl was
The Orange Bowl was Georgia and Notre Dame. Where are they playing at?
in Atlanta. So it's
They're
like
playing in Atlanta in the Dome.
Yeah, the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Okay.
So that's like the Peach Bowl, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, January 20th got a lot of stuff going on. First day of SHOT Show, inauguration, Martin Luther King Day, and the playoff game.
Chris,
Yep.
you ain't out there in Vegas with the rest of the guys yet? You skipping range day or something? His range day is tomorrow, the way Gary was talking, if I remember right.
How dare they have SHOT Show in the middle of college football championship playoff?
Well, this was probably scheduled long before the championship game was.
Boy, they got this. I've been watching. There's been some good football games today. Snowier in hell, but I'm watching who's this Buffalo, Baltimore. They're going at it pretty good.
Buffalo winning.
Yeah, they are. Wait, let's score come back up to 24-19. But man, there's like so many fumbles and turnovers, and I mean, this thing got no snow like the Eagles game did. You couldn't even see the field. But
yeah, it was coming down.
It was coming down here earlier today. We got another 8 inches on top of what we already had on the ground from the last time.
yeah, this Baltimore Buffalo game, it's been in the fourth quarter now, but it's been a back and forth.
Chris says he's leaving Wednesday morning. He had jobs he had to get done.
That Chris a good man. He's a good Buckeye. He's sticking around home for the game.
Buck's asking what time does the game start. That's 8 o'clock tomorrow?
7:30.
7:30.
We got a high school down here that gets to celebrate no matter who wins.
Notre Dame Buckeyes?
Yep. High school down here is they're rooting for everybody. You know how they got like houses divided and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We got local high school down here. Marcus Freeman went to high school there and played. All right, your coach.
Mm-hmm.
And because Marcus Freeman was a Buckeye too. Marcus Freeman went to high school there. One of our offensive linemen or something, he played at this high school. One of your offensive linemen or something, he played at this high school. And you got one of the lesser coaches somewhere in your staff, and he went to that high school. So no matter who wins the game, that school gets to celebrate him.
Oh, and just to warn anybody, if Ohio State loses on Monday, next Sunday, if Jason jumps on the panel, he'll be ranting and raving.
I don't think they're going to lose. I think they're a damn strong football team, and they're overwhelmingly motivated. Yeah, they're a damn strong team, man. Take a lot to beat them.
Anybody can win on any given Saturday, man.
Mm-hmm.
This season's shown that.
and anybody can get beat in the first quarter too. Seen that.
Well, Lions got beat in the fourth quarter, so there you go.
I will say I really enjoyed this college playoff. As much as they cried every week about how terrible it was, I think all in all the games were great. It's led us to this point. It's longest season in history. I think all the games have been great, man.
Yeah, it's been good
Ozzy's
football.
out there. Ozzy's out there in the chat, even in Ozzy.
Bark.
So go ahead, Moo. We were just getting ready to say something.
Oh, did you say hi to Fudd?
A lot of people didn't think Notre Dame was going to beat Georgia, and boy, did they. Then they didn't think they were going to beat Penn State, and they beat them too. So
Yeah, I know the first games, like all the favorites blew the other teams out, but like they were still great games, and they were like the first ever playoff games at them teams' home stadiums and shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Buckeyes game, that was fucking awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like those were good games we wouldn't have had before.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to complain about those. And then, all your favorites lost because, that's just too bad. That ain't like everybody else's fault that Georgia lost. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And Texas and Alabama wasn't in it. Like, that ain't our fault. Like,
Yeah.
I think the playoffs was great. Like, they're
Alabama
crying
had
them other teams. Them other teams shouldn't have been in there. Boise and Arizona stuff. Hell, Arizona and Texas was a hell of a game. Went to overtime.
mm-hmm.
Like what the hell, man? They were all entertaining games.
Yeah, and these people screaming that Alabama should have been in there. They were a 3-loss team.
Yeah, I think they were all great. They're crying about how they matched people up, and Oregon, the high state, shouldn't went at it second game. Who cares if you can't be like? So what if you have to play the toughest team on the first game in? If you want to be the champion, play all the way, you got to play the toughest teams. You can't be scared and cry like, "Oh, well, it ain't fair. We got the toughest on the first game." Well, you're gonna have to face them sometime. So, like, you don't know how any season's gonna play out. I mean, but
Do they bitch and moan and groan about when that happens with the NFL playoffs?
yeah. So I don't know. I know they're gonna change it before next time, but I like the 12 team versus the 14.
Yeah,
Gave us a lot more football. Like I said, every game's been good.
Yeah, and any given Saturday, any other one of these teams could have won their game instead of losing. You never know what's going to happen when you got a playoff going. All it takes is one team who's normally good to have a bad day, have one key injury, whatever, and the other team wins.
Yeah, I think it's been fine. I really like the teams playing a game at home. I think that's real cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the final score of the first game in Indiana at Notre Dame is kind of skewed because Notre Dame absolutely dominated that game until they started putting in their backups, and then Indiana had 2 garbage time touchdowns.
They're the other team. Like, yeah, they cried about like Indiana and Boise and people being in there because they got beat. Well, somebody had to get beat, but like you didn't know. You didn't know Indiana going into that game. They could have beat Notre Dame. They've had a hell of a season. You don't know who's going to win the fucking thing.
Yeah, you don't win. You don't know who's going to win until you play the game.
How many games did Indiana lose during the season?
1 or 2.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
We all knew they were still a young, soft team, but still, they played good and they had one or two. That Indiana team deserved to be in there more than Alabama did.
Mm-hmm. And the SEC was not a hard conference this year like they normally are. They were soft this year.
That's because the rest of us are allowed to buy players now, Rich.
Uh-huh.
The SEC lost all their players.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, no kidding. This
But
guy
funny
was.
how things evened out. So
Mm-hmm.
it didn't just even out; it eclipsed them in one season. Soon as the rest of the world was able to pay
Right.
players.
Now we know
Yeah.
why Nick Saban retired.
Oh yeah. When he went to Congress and bitched, my 50 years of coaching career and everything I ever stood for is just washed away now because he's crying about NIL and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't buy, everybody else could buy players now. Look what happened.
Play down here. It doesn't get cold. You can go out swimming in the middle of December. I went through one of those presentations with Florida back when I was in high school. Honest to God, one of their things to try and get you to go down there was how warm it is in Florida. Like, yeah, okay, whatever.
It's warm, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Had to move my grandparents in the middle of June one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's when you don't want to be there.
That's right.
You get down there in September and it's beautiful. Weather's just right. Still got to worry about hurricanes, but the weather is perfect.
Good crocodile weather.
Middle of September, man, it's beautiful. Like in the Orlando area, I don't think the temperature got warmer than 83 while we were down there. And it stays like that all day. Cools down a little bit at night, down into the 70s. Beautiful weather.
Okay, I think Buffalo's getting ready to kick a field goal to add to the lead, and there's only 3 minutes left.
At least they don't have to shovel a spot to hike the ball for the kicker on this game.
This one's only got really a dustiness now. But man, that Eagles game, I don't even know why they didn't stop the game. Like you couldn't see a single thing. It was like playing in the backyard.
Well, that's the way it was when the Steelers and Cleveland
And then
played
they
earlier this year.
were called. Well, yeah, that was bad. This one was that and worse. Like, man, they called a penalty for like an alignment procedure penalty and stuff. Like
You probably couldn't
you
see the
can't
line
see
of scrimmage. Yeah.
you can't see the field. How can you throw a flag
Mm-hmm.
for wasn't on the line of scrimmage?
You know what makes that even worse? Lincoln Financial Field has a heated field. That's how bad the snow was.
Do you see the penalty stats for Ohio State going into this game?
No.
There's 134 teams in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State ranks 134 for penalties called against their opponents, meaning like they never call penalties on our opponent. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like that kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. that we
Yeah.
would be dead last in the country.
You know,
Basically, they're saying the great defense that we have and the pass rushers and Jack Sawyer, you're basically saying nobody all season long has ever held them. The last holding penalty on our defensive line like that was the second game of the season. Huh?
and having watched just about the entire Notre Dame season, I don't think they're all that heavily penalized anyway. So it's going to make
Well,
it worse.
no, not your team. The calls against you, like
Yeah, I know.
like
I get what you're
they're
saying. That's what
holding
I'm
your
saying.
play. They're holding your guys every play, and they ain't never calling it.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
what I'm
what?
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dead last Ohio State. Like now, they got great players and they got talent, and they've played lesser talent. That doesn't make sense. You're telling me that like nobody's giving extra effort, nobody's holding them or pass interfering them or doing anything to them. Like, come on, man. I've been crying about for years. Not only do we got to beat our teams, we got to beat the referees too.
there have been some issues with that. Whatever teams had to deal with lately.
But
I
for
swear it
tomorrow's
cost the
game,
Steelers one of their games.
tomorrow night's game, I hope we don't see referees very much. We don't hear them talk. Like this is the championship, the last game of the season, all the hype and everything. You gotta let this game play. Like pass interferences, and I hate targeting calls. Don't get crazy with targeting calls. But pass interference and some stuff like that, you gotta let it play. But if it's bad, you gotta throw the flag. I mean, you can see it on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fat guys up front, the big eaters up there grinding it out and stuff, like I was just bitching about the holding call, you got to let that go, man. You can't like run this game and run every drive with some stupid penalties that didn't happen anywhere near the ball action was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I forget what game it was late in the season. Every time the Steelers would hit like George Pickens or one of the other receivers for a big play, the officials were throwing a penalty for offensive interference. It's like, what the fuck?
Something. I mean, yeah, they got to let them play these games. Like, if it's bad and obvious and it's on camera, I get it. But like, they need to stay out of this and let them play, man. No stupid, no
Yeah.
stupid stuff, man. Drive killers,
The one,
like
well, all those plays were drive killers. The one, here's how egregious the one was. The defensive back was holding Pickens the whole time as they're running downfield, grabbing his arm and shit. Pickens finally reached over, pushed him off of him, and the officials flagged Pickens and not the defensive player.
yeah, pushing off, yeah.
The defensive player should have been at least flagged for holding well before that.
Yeah, I just hope they just let them play, have a good game, and I hope it doesn't come down to, uh, if it comes down to a field goal to win, that's how it is. It sucks that way, but I'd hate to see it come down to a field goal missed to win because,
Seen that.
quite frankly, the whole teams have worked so hard all year and played, and for it to come down to like some stupid kicker decides it all. If he
Uh-huh.
misses, if he misses, he might become a missing person.
You know,
You know what I mean? And that ain't fair, really, for
you've been talking
the
about
whole
the Bills.
season to come down.
Yeah, you've been talking about the Bills Baltimore game. I hope that game doesn't come down to a field goal for Baltimore. Justin Tucker has sucked this year. He missed 2 or 3 against the Steelers in the first game they played him.
Well, they made it so it's 19-27. There's only 3 minutes left. So,
Touchdown.
and they only got the ball at the 12-yard line. So,
Touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
There were some good ball games yesterday. Oh, Washington and Detroit. Man, that was some points getting scored. There was some action in that. That was a hell of a game.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched any of the NFL games since week one.
Oh, you a Detroit fan, Moo? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't watched any. I don't ever watch pro ball at all. But
I was rooting for Michigan. I mean, not Michigan. Detroit after the Steelers were eliminated, just because they've never won it before. I don't think they've ever
Right.
even been.
I mean, they had a good run to make it this far. I mean,
Uh-huh.
they played some good stuff. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but I think there's something like 18 players on the injured reserve list. We lost some key players, but there you go. Nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Play hard, you're going to get hurt probably.
Any given Sunday or this time of year, Saturday, anybody can beat anybody. Or in tomorrow's case, Monday.
Yeah, Goff, he threw 3 interceptions and got the ball stripped once, so he was responsible for 4 turnovers.
Damn.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, man, Washington had a hell of a defense this year.
They did. Yeah. I mean, at the half, it was, pretty close. And then third was decent. And then fourth quarter, the wheels fell off at Detroit.
Wow.
yeah, well, Terry McLaurin tore him up, man.
How come whenever Jason's on the panel, we always end up talking about football?
There's only one more game left. I was rooting the whole time. I'm glad Notre Dame made it. It's going to be a great game. It would honestly kind of really, it would be a sucky game if it was like a High State and Penn State. You know what I mean? You get that in the regular season and stuff.
Shit, that would have been, what, second time they played this year? Or third?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be good.
No. If you would have had Oregon and Penn State, that would have been the third time they would have played this year.
Yeah, nobody want to see none of that, man.
Well, since Jason can't see the chat, Mystic said she misses you, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And she's home alone all week, she reminded you.
Yeah. Let's see. If Smith & Wesson continues to remove the Hillary hole from revolvers, would you rather buy a Smith & Wesson, a Colt, or a Ruger? And why? Start with you, Jason.
My first inkling would say, nah, I'm just going to buy the Colt anyways. But I already have the Colts. So my answer would be yes. I'm more interested in buying a Smith & Wesson than I would over a Ruger. Without the Hillary hole, I'd like to get a new one.
What about you, Moo?
What are you saying if they eliminate the safety?
Yeah, if they eliminate it from more, I know you already got some Smith & Wessons that probably have the Hillary hole, but if they don't have it anymore on all their stuff, would you prefer the Colt, the Smith, or the Ruger? And why?
I'd probably lean towards Colt because I don't have a Colt revolver. I got a Colt, the Vest Pocket 25 state or nickel. But I don't have a Colt revolver, so I mean, if I saved up an extra $500, I'd maybe buy the Colt. But I do like the Smiths. I don't know. I just don't know which one I would add to the collection.
Well, if I was going to buy a Colt, it's going to be the blued Python. That thing is gorgeous. You got to see it in person to get the full effect. That thing is absolutely beautiful. The dark oak or dark walnut grips with that blued frame are just beautiful together. The pictures I took at Great American Outdoor, or I should say Amy took at Great American Outdoor Show, don't do that pistol justice. Oh, you were going to say? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just thinking out loud. I mean, I don't know. I want to add a Colt to the collection, revolver.
Yeah, the 4-inch. If I were going to do one, it would be the 4-inch blued Python.
Yeah,
solid choice.
Those are nice.
But overall, I'm a Smith & Wesson revolver guy.
Yeah.
Always have been.
The only knock I got on the new Colts is the rear sight on them. At first, everybody complained. I was like, oh, it ain't that bad. I didn't, see any problem with mine. They're wiggly. Not that it makes any difference unless you're like, world-class shooter or something, But I swapped over 2 of them to the Wilson Combat one with the square notch and left the factory blade up front.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nicer sight for me, just for my eyes. It's just it's a larger blacked out area, and it just looks a little better. I like it, but it doesn't wiggle around. But
is that more?
It's nicer.
Is that more along the lines of how Smith & Wesson does their sight?
No, it's more of like a gosh, who used to make those sights? Kinsight. It's made more like a Kinsight sight is. Like there's more overhang in the back, more dark black area.
Mm.
Like it's not just such a small, thin sight. Probably has more adjustment to it. But the factory sight, it just, even though it's like in place, it the blade itself on the rear moves around. It wiggles.
Well, 144 left in the game. Bills are up by 8.
Yeah, that game's pretty much over.
Oh, is that what your TV says? 144.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm ahead of the future of you. So I won't say nothing.
Well, Ravens have the ball. It says on my screen. I don't have the. I'm blacked out, so I'm just looking at the score. Oh, Ravens scored.
Oh, they scored a 2-point conversion and tie the game. With their running back, it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility.
Actually, they just dropped the ball at like the 1-inch line. Oh no, they gave it to him.
Doesn't mean the replay won't say otherwise.
He just broke the plane. I think they are reviewing it.
Is that the touchdown or the 2-point conversion?
Oh, it was a 2-point conversion. They didn't get it.
Oh, that's the game.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't get it. They're
Unless
doing an onside.
Yeah, unless they do a successful onside kick, that's the game.
They're lining up for an onside right now.
Only here do you get play-by-play of the NFL.
Yeah.
How often are onside kicks successful?
Not very.
I don't know. This is that new dynamic kickoff bullshit.
Yeah, I know this the stupid kickoff.
Well, this one wasn't successful at all.
Not one bit. Huh?
I forget what channel it was. Showed the statistics for injuries with the old style kickoff and this new style kickoff. Want to take a
Yeah.
guess which one resulted in more injuries, even though it was supposed to prevent them?
And,
Go figure.
I think it's the dumbest, craziest looking shit I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
There was a safety in the Eagles game, and
Yep.
they changed. You know, safety used to be a free kick, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
like a punt.
Yeah.
They done changed all that to this dynamic kickoff
Oh,
crap.
good God.
So, like, the ball's out there, but the dude gets to run up on it, just like a kickoff. It's
Yeah, the free kick used to be a combination of punt and kickoff.
yeah,
Instead of the kicker kicking it down, it would be a punter doing a drop
yeah,
kick.
yeah, and it was a live ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They changed all that. It's the new dynamic free kickoff.
Jesus. If some football player from the 70s went to a ball game today, if they were in a coma for the last 50 years, they wouldn't recognize the game at this point.
uh-uh. The rules. At least a clothesline, you rip your head off. They didn't get no like pass interference call for that.
Mm-hmm.
Targeting.
Ozzy says, looks like Buffalo's going to Arrowhead.
I think they just did victory formation.
It's better than an arrow going into a buffalo.
Wow.
Man,
That's how hungry.
there's one player on Buffalo's defense running around here. He's got one of them padded helmets
Uh-huh.
where it's got like a blanket thing around the outside of the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but man, it's funny in hell when you see it. It's goofy. It stands out so bad. Like, remember Fred Flintstone, the water buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking about every time I seen it. It's like huge, man.
Yeah.
And he's like a
Remember,
little dude, and it's got like a giant helmet.
remember back in the day that weird helmet that Don Beebe wore when he was return man for Buffalo? God, that was a funny looking helmet back then.
Well, Don Beebe had like 20 concussions. He had like 4 in
Yeah.
one game.
Yeah.
Man, I remember Cleveland gave him 2 or 3 concussions, man. That was a tough dude right there.
Tell you
Cleveland
what,
bounced him
you
off
know
his
what?
helmet one
You know
time.
what play I always think of when I think of Don Beebe? Think Super Bowl when you got Big Leon Lett running down. He
Yeah.
starts celebrating before he goes into the end zone, and Don Beebe comes right up behind him and just swats the ball out of his hand.
I remember a Cleveland game where they smacked him in midair and he came straight down on his helmet like a pogo stick,
Mm-hmm.
knocked him out. And then there was another one. It was in Cleveland, and like they plowed the field of snow, so like right outside the back of the end zone was like 4-foot snow drifts.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Turner or somebody for Cleveland smacked him, even though like he didn't catch it and went out of bounds, and knocked him cold out. He just laid there in the snow. He hit that snow drift, never moved again. Ugh, knocked him cold out.
Yeah, back in the days when you were allowed to hit somebody.
Yeah. Well, yeah, look forward to tomorrow, man. Trump's inauguration. Check that out on the news all day and then get ready for the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it should definitely be a good game.
Yeah, hope so. Like I said, I think this time the two best teams are in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The two best teams are in it. Uh, the well, even though they're independent, it's still like two different conferences. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're ACC adjacent.
Yeah, there's no repeat. You know. Plus, two out of the out of who it's left, like who's the two biggest programs? It's Ohio
Oh yeah,
State and Notre Dame. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you wouldn't call like Boise versus Arizona State like historic programs or nothing. Like you know.
No, there's a
So like
mystique about Notre Dame, and Ohio
yeah,
State's won quite a few national championships already. So
yeah, just yeah, it's just a much better matchup. Ohio State Notre Dame.
mm-hmm.
Boy, I know they've made a ton of money. Whoo! Have you heard about the checks they've been getting paid for this stuff?
No,
I don't know what the first couple rounds paid, but I know the middle game when we played Oregon and you guys played Georgia.
mm-hmm.
So that was what quarterfinals. Those
Something like
was
that.
there was $14 million checks for those. And then I don't know what the next one was, but I know this one here, the championship game, they $20 million checks.
Yeah. There's big money involved in bowl games. There always has been.
You run. We didn't think about that. I bet if like you start and run all the way to the end, I bet your team checks home about probably $80 million for being in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that sure sucks now if you're team number 13, don't it?
Yeah. Remember how their excuse for not doing a playoff was because it would hurt the students educationally, and
Ain't hurting their
they
wallet.
they'd lose money from the bowl games, and they'd have to get rid of the bowl games. Imagine that they found a way to incorporate the bowl system into the playoff. Basically, what I said they should have done 15 years ago when they came out with that stupid BCS horse shit.
Yeah, I think the 12 teams just right. We don't need 16 or none of that shit for a while. Let's try 12 for a few years, see what happens. Sure does make it a long season though. Almost makes it like two seasons. You got the season, and then you got the playoffs.
No, you don't even get a playoff game until the end of December. It's still almost
Yeah,
a
but
whole month between the end of the
well,
regular
I'm just saying,
and when the
if you go
playoffs start.
if you go to the playoffs and your division championship, man, that's five extra games.
Uh, but
Record books just start getting broken now
yeah, they have
because
to give
plays
them.
got longer.
They have to give the students that almost a month off between the two though because of midterms and shit.
Yeah, but they need to change that.
No, they can't because if they're on the road, you have to have your midterm in by a certain point. If they're on the road and not able to get to take their midterm, you're penalizing the student, and they're not going to get their grade for their class.
They need to change their midterms.
They can't.
They need to.
That ain't going to happen because of the school schedule.
Yeah, there's a football schedule where we make $80 to $100 million too.
Yeah, but that's not supposed to be the priority.
Well, it's
The
a new
catch-22, man.
era, Rich. We can pay players now, Like,
Yeah,
let's just take the school
yeah,
completely out of
but
it. Like,
they still have to meet their academic requirement, or else they
the,
can't play.
their school needs to be ball. We brought them here to 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 play and study ball. We didn't bring them here to do math. You know what I mean? So
That depends on what school you're talking about.
let's just get to let's just cut out to the chase. Like, he doesn't need to know modern literature. He needs to know how to catch a fucking ball. And he's already getting paid more money than he'll ever make off of like your you know, liberal science degree or whatever. So let's just teach him how to play ball and teach him how to not get in trouble. And that's the best. That's a good start to that young man's life. You know that one wide receiver we got was in high school last year, and this year, you know how much he got paid? $3.7 million.
Too shabby.
That's pretty good for a kid who played high school last year, man. Like the most important thing for him is teaching him how to manage that money, how to stay out of trouble. Like I said, he doesn't need to study Shakespeare. He needs to study how to catch a ball. Playing with a knife? What's that?
Oh, I'm moving some cables around. That was my magnetic charger to one of my old lights.
Oh.
I was playing with my new knife that Gizzard. I went on Gizzard Gary chat the other day, though. Finally got that.
That
Nice.
that reminds me, for Jacob S. I don't know if Justin's out there or G Webs. Your stuff will probably get shipped Wednesday. Wanted to do it yesterday, but something came up and wasn't able to get those shipped out yet. So they will be getting shipped out Wednesday. Jacob and G Webs both have a knife coming to them, and Justin Grimm has a blanket going his way.
Sweet.
I don't know if you guys can hear that noise in the background. Cat's playing with one of their ball toys.
Cat's playing with his balls.
It's this big blue disc. It has a scratching thing in the middle, and then there's a ball that goes around on a track on the outside of it. And they love that thing. I don't think there's any one of our cats that doesn't at some point in time play with that thing. We need to get one of the new scratching mats for it because they tore the other one apart. And they clean their claws on it and whatnot. It doesn't take long if they all decide they're going to use it at one time for that thing just to get shredded.
Yeah, it looks like a dead battlefield of dog toys around here at the moment.
Sometimes looks like that around here.
Right, though.
The other day, the cats and the dog got a hold of one of my daughter's unused pads. You know, the female time of the month pads. And they tore that thing to pieces. There was more stuff in it. It looked like one of those things can hold. Spread
Was
all
it,
over the damn
was it
place.
new or used?
No, it wasn't used.
Oh.
I would have been really pissed off if it were used. There was just white fluff everywhere.
I just gave my dog a pittance because I realized he's not the worst dog ever. Yeah, he was a good
He's-
boy. Mine tore up went and got out of the trash. I knew he went in the kitchen. I knew he was getting something. He came back. I went to Subway earlier and I got some bag of cookies while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heated up my cookies in the bag in the microwave a little bit, and it like melted some chocolate on the wrapper a little bit. Dog went and stole it, man. Ran around here and wouldn't let me grab it, and he shredded up the paper. But at least it wasn't a pad.
Yeah. Yesterday, I gave the puppy a gummy bear. God damn, was she determined she was getting another one. She loved that.
Was it a weed gummy?
No, it was a Tractor Supply gummy.
Oh,
No. Apple flavor. She loves apples, so I gave her an apple flavored gummy, and oh boy, did she like that.
give her one of them weed gummies. She'll like go to sleep. Be that way.
I feel beat.
My dog's all sleepy. He don't want messed with. I'm irritating him, I guess. Man's best friend.
Mm-hmm. Wow, we're only a little over an hour, and I feel like I'm just like so run down feeling right now. Having to help shovel snow and shit will do that to you.
Yeah, we're supposed to get about a foot.
Yeah. We already had probably 6 inches left from the foot we had 2 weeks ago, and got another 8 inches on top of that today.
We only got a little bit on inch or two on the ground. Maybe had a little dusting everywhere. I think it now next couple of days it's gonna be too cold to snow.
Yeah. No, I've seen it snow in negative degrees weather before. It's got to get really cold for it to be too cold to snow. Like if it gets down to negative 15, then you're talking too cold to snow. But like between 0 and negative 10, it can snow still. Let's see if they revised our forecast.
Well, I got my snow blower all ready to roll. I already used it once when we had nine inches.
It is currently 22 with a wind chill of 10.
Let's see what it is here.
I got 12 with a wind chill of -2.
Tomorrow we got a high of 17 and a low of 5.
Okay, I got. It says 12, and then it says feels like -4.
No. Yeah, Tuesday they're calling for a high of 5.
Oh, good. You're
Yeah.
calling for more snow starting at 11 o'clock.
No. Well, I'm right by Lake Michigan, so we get a lot of lake effect.
Oh, I hate lake effect snow. Wet and heavy snow.
So does Los Angeles Rams.
No, Los Angeles hates fire. That was my rant last weekend.
You know, Trump's gonna change Lake Erie to the Lake of Ohio. Just sounds prettier.
Last week, I don't know if either of you guys caught it, but I did like an hour and a half almost solo, just going off about the LA fires.
Yep.
Tuesday, a high of 18 and a low of -4. Wednesday, high of 19 and a low of 7. And then Thursday starts getting balmy, 34 and a low of 16.
I think they said tomorrow our high will be a single-digit number.
Yeah, we're not going to have that. Our lows are all going to be in single digits for the next few days. One below 0. And then with wind chill, they're all probably going to be below 0.
Where's all the global warming people at now, man?
That's why they changed it to climate change, man. The fuck? The temperature is just going to keep dropping overnight tonight.
It'll get warm in a few more months.
Shit, man, we've had snowstorms in March before.
January's usually our cold spell, 1st of February.
Yeah, February historically is the coldest month of the year.
We usually get a week where it's worse than snow. We get like an ice storm usually. Hang around for about a week, real cold. And pretty much that's about the worst of our winter.
Yeah,
The rest of it stays pretty mild.
The last 2 decades here in this area, our worst snowstorms have been in the month of March.
My mama always used to tell me that March comes in like a lamb and out like a lion.
Not the other way around.
We in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Lamb. Yeah. A lamb with rabies, maybe.
Jackalope.
Well, we got Buckeye Chuck here next month. Like, you know how you got the Groundhog Day over in Pennsylvania? Tusco. What's a
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, Tuxotonic fucking
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got Buckeye Chuck right here in my hometown for the state. We got our own groundhog he whip out. He, 6 more weeks of winter or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And usually the damn groundhogs are wrong anyway.
Not Buckeye Chuck. Buckeye Chuck ain't never wrong.
Uh-huh. Punxsutawney Phil is named for the town of Punxsutawney, which is northeast of Pittsburgh. It's up around the same area as Du Bois.
I know where that's at.
Yes, I know you do.
2 boys.
Yeah.
Du Bois.
The 2 U's.
No, it's French.
What's a Ute?
It's French, so you never know. I don't speak French, so sounds similar to Two Boys. Who knows? Maybe it was founded by a Catholic priest. I don't know.
That's right. He do boys.
Hasn't stopped them.
Have either of you seen the movie Postal?
Postal. Who's in it? How old is it?
I'm not sure how old it is. Early 2000, I think.
Okay, I might have seen it.
It's got the kid that played the bully in the Christmas Story in it. He's the main character.
I think I did
Postal?
too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. Maybe it'll ring a bell.
It's a messed up movie. It's one of those movies that you probably shouldn't be laughing, but you can't help yourself.
2007.
Yeah, it's a really messed up movie. You know how you know it's messed up? The very first scene in the movie, before they start running the credits, it's 2 Arab-looking guys flying a plane. And they call Osama bin Laden to find out about virgins if they die. They find out that Osama bin Laden has changed how many virgins they're going to get. So they're like, they keep discussing it. They're like, screw it, let's go to the Bahamas. And then one guy's like, yeah, let's get on the intercom and let the passengers know we changed our minds. We're all going to the Bahamas. Just as they come to that decision, the passengers break down the door to the cockpit and cause them to fly the plane into one of the Twin Towers.
Oh, jeez.
Based on a true story.
And Gabriel's out there.
$15 million budget, and it earned $146,000.
Wait a minute. It only earned 106,000? Not million?
$146,741 earned.
It's on those free streaming services like Plex. That's where I watched it. Was on Plex. It's not a bad movie. I thought it was pretty damn funny.
It's a tax write-off movie.
Yeah, basically, it's what ended up being a tax write-off. But there's a lot of guns and stuff in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
must be cheap guns, Rich.
Oh, yeah. There's at least one 50 cal, at least one saw, a bunch of AKs, some AR-15, maybe M16s. I mean, there's a lot of guns in that movie.
Oh, local news is on. They're down there at the stadium. And they told our team and our coach, if you don't win, don't come home. Oh, we're wearing our throwback uniforms.
Like M. Gabriel's asking what movie. Postal. It's based on the video game that came out in the early 2000s.
Oh man, I love our coach, but he has got to get a new suit.
Okay, Rich, I just watched the trailer. It's going on my list to watch.
I'm telling you, man, that movie is wild.
It looks funnier and shit. Oh man.
It's like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. How screwed up that movie
Yeah.
is. It's that same kind of vibe.
Oh, great.
Just put it on a sticky note on my monitor.
If I say any more, I'm going to spoil the movie, so I'm trying not to say too much. It's one of those movies where anything's a spoiler except for the opening scene, because that takes place even before the credits roll. So
Man,
that gives you some idea of what kind of movie it is.
man, just a couple months ago, I watched Tucker and Dale with a couple people and told them how funny it was going to be. And I swear to God, neither one of them laughed about a single thing or even a mild chuckle through
How can
anything
you?
through that whole movie. It was like just like cold, man. Like
Man,
not even a slight chuckle, man.
do they have a temperature?
That's what I mean. Like not even slightly amused, man, at
Wait,
all.
what movie are you talking about, Jason?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that either.
Oh, dude, you got
Put
to.
that on your list.
Yeah, put that on your list. That is
Tucker,
freaking hilarious.
Tucker and what?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
All right.
Never mind the part about them talking about a revolver having a safety on it.
Yeah, I think the safety's on.
Hey, guess what? It turns out there wasn't no safety.
Yeah, they find out
Imagine
the
that.
hard way.
What? So it wasn't a Smith and Wesson?
Actually, I think
a
it
Colt.
was.
Was it a
Was
Smith?
it is a Colt or a Smith?
Yeah, it was
Might have
one
been
of
a
those.
Colt. Yeah, I think it was a Colt. Now I think about it.
Yeah. But man, that movie is one where anything that can go wrong will. And an extreme case of screwing up the identity of the people around you.
Yeah.
You got to watch that one, Moo. You got to watch that and Postal back to back.
Having a doozy of a day.
Yeah. Tucker! This crazy suicidal kid just threw himself in the wood chipper.
Yeah, you gotta watch Tucker and Dale, man. That's a good one, man.
I'm looking it up.
Hmm.
Oh, it's got hillbillies in it. Cool.
Yeah. You didn't know by the name Tucker and Dale?
I thought they were NASCAR fans, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they probably are. And Gabriel says he watched the trailer. He will watch Postal.
Yeah.
I think Tucker and Dale's on Hulu. I think it's on Plex. Maybe it's on a few different streaming services.
Yeah. Oh, Postal's on Plex.
Yeah, I know Postals. That's where I watched it.
Oh, okay. Is it free? Does it have commercials or something?
I have ad blocker on. I didn't see a single commercial.
Oh. It's on Prime for $2.
Yes, that's exactly what Tucker and Dale is. Fosse. He said it's a comedy of errors. Yes, and misassumptions.
Oh, Tucker and Dale's on Peacock. I've got that. It's on Sling. I got that. Amazon Prime. Got that. All right then. I'm gonna go ahead and jump out. My daughter just got home from work. I'm gonna go hang out with her, see what's going on.
Okay.
Good to see you guys in avatar form,
Yeah.
and good seeing everybody out there in the side chat.
All right, man. Take care, buddy.
Yep.
All right,
See you
guys. I'll catch you later. Yep.
Dude.
Bye.
Oh, Chris is saying if you haven't watched American Primeval, it's a must see.
American Primeval.
Yeah, he says it's a series.
Okay.
Yeah, television series I liked, but BBC canceled it because of their budget was just called Primeval. It was about scientists investigating these portals that kept popping up to the past, and that dinosaurs and shit would come walking out of them, and they had to try and get them back into their portals and stuff. It was pretty good.
Huh. I watched. I think they might have a couple new Yellow Jackets. I didn't mind that one too bad. And then I watched one about these two guys that escaped from prison, dug their way out, and they were both banging this lady that worked at prison to sneak them stuff. It was like a true story. That wasn't too bad. I think they were on Netflix. There was a good one a season or so ago called Outer Range. That was a pretty good one, man. Had the time travel hole that appears and stuff. That was a pretty cool one, man.
Yeah, when the BBC canceled Primeval, the CBC up in Canada tried picking it up and running with a Canadian version of it. It only lasted one season. It wasn't as good. There was like no chemistry with the characters in that one.
Yeah, well, it's for the best. We probably won't get any Canada shows after we invade them.
That was on Sci-Fi Network. Chris says with the one he's talking about, dedicate 6 hours because once you start, you won't stop.
That's cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah, there hasn't been much in the way of regular TV that I've been watching.
Oh, the news says they let 3 hostages out.
Ooh, they're probably the only ones that survived. Jacob says it's 9 degrees where he's at, but with wind chill, it's probably colder. He said 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. So, yeah, you're probably looking at 0 or below with wind chill. Jacob, would it be possible for you to build a wall so it doesn't come any farther east?
Walls are racist.
Not anymore. Trump's back. You see all the lefties jumping to kiss Trump's ass?
Yeah, I'm all for it, Rich. All for it. Well, the billionaire ones.
Like in the media and shit.
Whatever, it's all good. But justice needs to be served for some wrongdoings. But if all them billionaires can run over to Trump's side of thing, that's like a double whammy, man. That's like them Democrats is cash cow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not only do you take them, you take their money. So
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty bad because you got people on MSNBC saying maybe Trump's policies aren't so bad. I lost it.
yeah, they it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I am trying to stay awake, folks. So, yeah. And remember, if you guys have something out there you want to talk about, let us know. We'll talk about just about anything within reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the inauguration tomorrow. Check that out on the news. Flip back and forth between a couple channels, see what they got saying.
Man, I don't even know if I'm going to be awake when that happens. Boy, I've been sleeping.
Did you hear what JD Vance said about the game?
No.
He was hoping they could have done the game on Tuesday instead because he wanted to, but he was like, I guess I'm gonna be at the inaugural ball and everything. He goes, I'm gonna be watching the game on my phone.
Yeah, that does seem like rather poor scheduling. I mean,
Well, it's
inauguration
an
day is
awful
pretty.
lot. It's awful lot for. I get the inauguration and all that, but for our football game, like I know they always been doing that, but like, man, Monday night is just not like.
No.
No, dude, Sunday night or something like not Monday night.
Saturday night.
Something. I mean, like even a Friday night. I just not a
Yeah.
Monday. You
Yeah.
know.
Monday is. That's one of the reasons why the ratings in Monday Night Football started to tank because people weren't able to watch it because of their work schedules.
It's just yeah, man, it's just bad. Like bad choice. But we'll take it. But still. I know they got a clash with the football, the NFL and the TV and all that, but
Were yesterday's games on in the afternoon or was one at night? As long as there's not a night game, they could do it that Saturday night. They've done it all season.
Yeah, what's the matter? Technically, this year the game's played in the dome. You could play it at noon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you ain't gonna have as many eyes on TV.
Yeah, but
Primetime's always better.
yeah, they should on Monday
You know,
though. That's just
they
weird.
could have done it Friday because there was no Gizzard Gary show.
That's right. Because of SHOT Show.
Yeah. Gizzard Gary was preempted because of SHOT Show. And him having to get up early Saturday morning to get his flight.
I'm gonna send in a super chat to Josh Pate on Pate State, telling the playoff committee needs to fix that next year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well,
we
there ain't going
can't.
to be an inauguration day next year.
Well, we can't have the championship interfering with SHOT Show.
No, because the NFL got to rate the NFL too, because Gizzard isn't going to be able to watch the Chiefs. Wasn't able to watch the Chiefs game because the guys won't let him watch it on the TVs at the Airbnb.
What do you mean the guys wouldn't let me?
He's outruled by 4 other people, 3 other people. Apparently, they only get 1 TV in their Airbnbs.
He ain't no fan, man.
Kids didn't get to watch the Chiefs game.
I'd pull out my sidearm.
Well, he
Ask
said he was probably going to
ask
watch it
if
on
they're
his
willing to die for that.
He said he was going to watch it on his phone.
It's not right to come between a man and his football.
Gee whiz, they're calling for icy roads. I would never have thunk it.
Oh yeah, my news here says I'm at -2 and I'm under a snow emergency.
Watch for icy roads. Yeah,
My
after
car tells me
snowstorm, I
that.
wouldn't be the least bit surprised.
My car tells me that when I start it up.
Yeah. What do you got now?
That's a Buick. Yeah, I always think that's funny. Like it tells you, well, watch out for possible ice. Like you don't think I was outside before I got in here?
Mm-hmm.
You think I didn't notice what
I
it
could
was
go
like
outside
outside?
and tell that.
Like that was me brushing the snow off the windshield. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Get in it, and it's got a screen that says, "Hey, watch out for possible cold conditions." Yeah, no shit.
It's like Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live doing the weather report.
It's a dumb car. It tells me I got a low tire just because it got cold out.
Yeah, it's like, what's the weather, Eddie? Or whatever his name was. You want to know what the weather is? Look out the goddamn window.
Tonight's forecast is dark, getting lighter by morning.
It's hot. It's damn hot.
Ooh, they showed more pictures of California. That is fucking terrible, man.
Oh, yeah.
That first night, them 100-mile-an-hour winds, that was like biblical, man. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
nothing
was only a
survived
matter
in
of
that.
time, man.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing surviving that. I'm just so amazed that there's and glad that you would think thousands of people got killed in that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they have. There's hundreds of thousands of people that don't have homes right now.
Yeah, I know, but not dead though. Like,
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of dead and then another over 100,000 without homes on top of it.
100,000 out of house. That's terrible. That's almost unrecoverable.
Jacob says his area still has a number that you can call to get the time and temp. I wouldn't be at least bit surprised if you get that everywhere still. Just people don't use it anymore. What the hell are those damn cats doing? I don't even want to know.
Oh, we got some big news here. They're building like the largest defense contractor plant in the state or something now. Man, they're gonna make these badass, like the drones that they got.
Uh-huh.
These are like stealth drones.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're cooking up at the research facility they got close to here.
They showed them sitting there on a thing. They're drones, but they're all stealthy, man. They're all like, black and the anti-radar angles and
Uh-huh.
shit and stuff on them. Yeah, they're fucking badass looking.
Yeah, if they're now putting that on the news, they've probably already had them for 6 months, and that might have been what all those drone sightings people were freaking out
Yeah.
over.
Uh-huh. Supposed to be a shitload of jobs here, but it's oh my gosh, I forget how many acres complex it was going to be and supporting facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty big deal, man. We already do stuff like that around here. This is like going to be the biggest one in the state.
Yeah.
They just whatever picked out the land, signed the deal, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Going back to Jacob talking about the calling for the time and temp. Back in the early 90s, before the internet really took off, we used to have almost the exact same kind of shit on the telephone. You could call, find out what movie times were,
Yeah.
temperature, sports scores, all that kind, the news, all kind of shit, just on your phone.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it too.
I forget what they called it, but it was some kind of service through the phone company.
We used to have to get the newspaper. If you didn't call on the phone, you had to get the newspaper to
Mm-hmm.
find out what was at the movies and what time it came on and
Yep.
shit.
Hell, the one time that if you wanted to try out for Jeopardy, you had to call that line, and one of the sub menus was for the Jeopardy tryouts. I passed their goddamn test, but then they found out I was a teenager and didn't let me go on. Like, you sons of bitches. It's like, well, sign me up for the teen tournament then. Like, yeah, we're not recruiting for that right now. We'll keep you in mind if we do. Never heard from them.
Oh man, there's one house here in California. Dude had two Mustangs that burnt to the ground in the garage. Looked like twins. One was a hardtop, one was convertible.
Yeah. The one tech tuber I watch, his house burnt in the Palisades fire. He lost like 5 computer systems and a bunch of other parts, totaling probably as much as what those Mustangs cost.
How did? I don't know. It's like,
He was out at CES at the Consumer Electronics Show when the fire started. He got home and total loss.
that shit just looks crazy, man. It was such a a burn like the streets are perfect. Like it's
Yeah.
like there ain't no trash or debris. You know what I mean? Like it's
Because
like
they're
a
all moved
bomb.
up.
Like the buildings are just foundations, but like the streets are perfectly clean all the way curb to curb, and
Yeah. The
it's
craziest
like
part.
it's like it happened a long time ago, not just the other day. Like you
uh,
know what I mean? That's what it looks like.
the crazy part is when they're showing a neighborhood, and all the houses will all be total except one. There's one house
Yeah,
still standing.
man, you see that sometimes in tornadoes and shit, man.
Hmm.
Like the whole fucking neighborhood is just like flattened, and there'll be one there that's got like a piece of siding missing off of it or something.
I think we got a gay cat. Our white Siamese kitty is trying to hump his brother. It's like, I don't think that's going to work. Brother don't want any part of it. Stupid cats. Oh, man. What else is there to talk about? I don't want to go on another rant about this LA shit. Go back and watch last week's episode, first like hour and a half, if you want to hear that. Yeah. I think I went after just about everybody involved in what's going on out in California. The governor, the mayor, their the LA Fire Department head of
Well,
DEI
hopefully
chief.
hopefully in the light of tragedy, that'll lead to some better changes out there.
I don't know if you saw what their DEI chief out there said. The diversity, equity, and inclusivity chief for the fire
Oh,
department.
where she like said people want to be rescued by people that look like them,
Yeah, and then
and said
if you
like if her husband was in there, well, his ass shouldn't have got himself in a fire.
mhm, if you
That's
want if you don't want to be rescued, don't get into a situation where you're in a fire. Yeah, because people's houses all the time don't catch fire for random reasons. It's not like people are planning these fires, you stupid bitch.
yeah. She had a great attitude.
Oh yeah, basically victim blaming everybody out there. Remember, this was before the fires were even going on. This was
Yeah,
just
years ago. Yeah.
yeah, and she still has her job. It's crazy. It's absolutely craziness what California has become.
It's a perfect example of what not to do.
Yeah. For all you idiots out there who may be watching that are calling for socialism and blah blah
Go
blah blah
live
blah,
there.
look at
Go
what's
live
going
there.
on in LA right now and change your fucking mind, you morons.
It's always going on there. This time it just got the rich people houses.
We
Nobody was
got every
crying when
it's not,
California burns to the ground every year, man.
yeah, it's
Like,
not just the rich people's houses.
yeah, they burn down every year. Every time they mess with the power, turn the power off to save power, and like 12 of them blow up, burn half the
Well,
state for 2 weeks, man.
I talked about this last week. Like I said, you realize they wanted to build a pipeline to bring water from Alaska down to California, and Gavin Newsom told them no, they weren't allowed to do it
Yeah,
to save a fish.
yeah. Well, I know they got lots of ways, like they can turn seawater into drinking water.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
They do it over in
just
Saudi Arabia all the time.
yeah,
It's
yeah. So they
desalinization.
just ask the Saudis over there. They may have oil, but they ain't got no damn water, and
Uh-huh.
they seem to be all right. And like, damn, they built like the tallest building in the world, and like they got cities as big as Los Angeles and shit. Like
Yeah, they could easily do that off the coast, but environmental. This is gonna hurt the environment. This is gonna hurt. Fuck off with that hurt the environment horse shit. I'm so sick of that garbage.
Yeah, maybe Trump can finally get them to stop that shit.
Yeah, I mean, no
Oh, they say
water and a shit
it's
ton of
so cool.
underbrush to start a fire. Yeah, and that's all because of their stupid environmentalist policies.
They said they're moving the Trump thing inside. It's too cold.
It probably is.
Yeah.
The snow we were getting today, they're probably getting now and tomorrow. DC's not all that far from here. It's only a couple hours.
They just went from Los Angeles fires to the Gaza Strip in the Middle East, and I couldn't tell the difference.
I think Israel was
Oh,
stupid.
okay, yes, it's easy. Now and then there's a taller building in Israel.
Yeah. I think the Israelis were stupid to agree to that ceasefire deal. They do this every fucking time Hezbollah or Hamas get uppity. And
This
they,
is
we
just
won't
a
do it again. We won't do it again. I promise
this
you.
is just a ceasefire. This isn't the end of the war. This is just
Yeah, this is how all
a
their shit
pause to
stops.
get the hostages back, and then they'll go back to fighting.
No, I don't think it's just going to be all that. They're just going to stop, and then the Israelis are going to stop, and then give them 2 years, and Hezbollah will be launching rockets again into Jerusalem.
And Israel don't need to stop till there ain't no more Hezbollah.
This is what happens every time.
Who Trump was at the unknown soldier today. Ain't it funny how he's not even president yet? Not till tomorrow. And ever since the election, like he's done more presidential shit than Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no more TikTok.
Yeah. I couldn't care less. I didn't use TikTok anyway.
Yeah, I don't care.
I've never been on TikTok.
Mm-mm. I don't get it. Like the first time I heard of TikTok, I mean, they tell you it's the Chinese are spying. And then you also seen the thing like, go on there and tell they know if you're like a 10-year-old little girl within 15 minutes. And then I remember when they had the thing like, the first time I ever heard of TikTok is because he got in trouble because he was doing shit fucking with kids and shit. Like sending kids inappropriate stuff and directing them to stuff and like telling kids not to obey their parents and shit. And shit, like why in the fuck does it even still exist? Why would people sit there and defend they want their TikTok? Like that was how they got
They're
started.
addicted. They're addicts. An addict wants what gives them their fix. TikTok made them feel special.
Whatever.
No, that's what it is. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
I know. World's full of too many weak-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
Screw you. I keep getting sick that for a while on our news they cry, all these people make money off TikTok in their business. I'm like, find something else to fucking do then.
Yeah.
Get a real fucking job. Go to YouTube.
You can fucking use
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram,
Yeah.
X, just as well as you could TikTok.
Yeah, don't go. They fuck with kids and they're China spies. Like, fuck them.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Hey, if anybody's gonna be spying, it's gonna be our own government. Fuck China.
It's like a couple of weeks ago we had a discussion on
Chuck
Gary's
Biden.
show about different companies that are owned by shell companies for the Chinese government, and the guys just they didn't get it. They didn't believe me when I was saying you got to dig deeper. Don't look at the first company that says owns a company and believe it. You got to dig deeper. The Chinese build these shell corporations that are own shell corporations that own shell corporations that own.
And the Chinese don't own stuff like we do. Like you would think of us or Trump, we own something for like a business profit.
Mhm.
Uh, the Chinese own to control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They care
Mhm.
less if the company makes profit or not.
They're like,
They own to control.
they're
They're
like,
not
I
like
think,
silent partners and shit, you know.
yeah, think we were talking about Yum Foods. And they're like, oh, it says here it's owned by this company, which is based in the U.S. I was like, have you dug any farther into who owns that company? They're like, what? I was like, with Chinese owned companies, the first company you find ain't going to be the actual owner. You got to keep digging and digging and digging and digging until you get to the bottom
Hmm.
because they hide themselves because they don't want people knowing that they own this, that, and the other thing.
It's kind of why Biden's grandkids got more money than all of them. Yeah, I'm sorry, that is hearsay. I don't want any misinformation.
Biden family goes and does things in broad daylight and tells people you can't touch us.
Oh, here's something to get you mad about. Did you see the pardons he gave out?
Yes, the mass murderers and shit, all except for what, like 2 or 3 of them? It's like, what the
Uh,
fuck, dude?
I know that sounds terrible. I don't know how you get the information, but the one that caught me, angered me the most, that I haven't heard of even a bit on the news, not even like the right wing news. I saw a certain person got a pardon whose name was Anthony Fauci.
No, of course.
But if everything was okay and on the up and up, why would Fauci need a pardon?
Well, get this, you don't need to be charged with any crime to be pardoned for any wrongdoing you may have done in connection to.
Oh, well, yeah, that's on the legal, but I mean, his reputation, they've told you
I
all
know,
along
I
that
know.
nothing to see here,
Yeah,
you know?
and the beagle thing, you know, what he was doing to those poor beagle puppies in Africa. No, you can't do that. I can't do that in the United States, so we'll just do it in Africa.
There ain't no way another president can undo another president's pardon.
Nope. Once the president pardons somebody, it's final. So any
Well,
charges that
pardon
are
me.
listed in the pardon of Fauci, even if they were to investigate him now on those charges, they can't do shit to him. Another perfect example from the other side is when Ford pardoned Nixon before he was ever charged with anything.
Huh. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the one that got me was all the murderers on death row in federal custody were all either had their sentences stayed or were pardoned, except for
Yeah,
2 or
I
3.
heard, I heard there's a bunch of murderers.
Yeah.
Heard there's a bunch of people in jail for pot. Like, that really don't count. But murderers, I heard murderers.
Do you know what this
I heard
means?
child molesters. I heard he let out a bunch of child molesters, didn't he?
Yeah. You know what this means? If Charles Manson were in prison on federal charges and he was still alive, Biden would have just let him go.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Lack of evidence.
Well, the
Not
president doesn't
one,
have to give a reason for the pardon.
not one shred of true evidence. We believe the facts, not the truth.
Yeah. That's the worst part. Presidents don't have to give a reason why they're pardoning somebody. They can just do it.
Yeah, I don't know why the dude would do that though, man. Let
I don't
murderers
either.
out. I mean, I
So,
understand your friends. I understand your son. I understand Fauci, your political ties and shit. I get that.
yeah.
But like everyday murderers and shit, what the fuck,
Hmm.
dude?
Yeah. What the hell?
Was any of them white? I doubt it. Huh?
Yeah, We got 3 people still watching, 1 on Rumble and 2 on YouTube.
Yeah, that's just sad, man. That's sad.
Yeah. We
Like,
hit
what the
the
hell?
2-hour mark. Yeah, we're going to have to leave it on this topic. But yeah, Biden fucked up. Leave it at that. Biden fucked up majorly.
No,
Or
it
his
ain't his.
handlers.
Ain't his doing. Yeah, they told him to do it. I just wonder who told him to do it. Like,
Yeah, some of those murderers could have been serial killers, Well, they don't tell you who they are. Unless you want to go look through the archive and see who the president pardoned, which is public record. But you know how long that'll take to go through? Yeah. That's how Joe Biden spent his last week in office, pardoning people that should have been dead already.
yeah.
Anyway.
Oh well, maybe it's the end of an era for them old crooked, corrupt guys.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of Adam Schiff, and we'll all be in a better place.
Shit, he's in the Senate now.
I know. I watched him in the confirmation hearings. That dude is disgusting.
Oh yeah, he's a creep. He's a total creep. He always has
Oh
been.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's, from all reports, he's got his skeletons too.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't do and act what he does like that for free. It'd be going. He's protecting a lot of dollar bills, buddy.
Well, he's protecting himself too.
Yeah.
Some of the rumors about him,
he's the most ridiculous person I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like,
but if you look at some of the rumors about him, he should be in prison right now.
He should be. The rumors, hell, we watched it. A fake impeachment.
No, that's not what I'm talking about, dude. I'm talking about crimes of a sexual nature that he's rumored to have committed.
Okay. That's a cheap one. They all.
No. I'm not talking about with.
They've all cried wolf so many times, and the other half are guilty. So it's just hard to. I want more than that. You know what I mean? I want
there's
caught him getting paid by Chinese. I want real shit.
Oh hell, they caught
shit.
his face dating a fucking Chinese spy, and they did nothing to him.
Yeah. And then no. She left the country that real quick, and that's now hearsay. You can't prove she was a Chinese spy.
What about Barbara Boxer? I think it was it Barbara Boxer or the other Dianne Feinstein, whose driver was a Chinese spy for like 20 some years.
Oh, it was Feinstein or
it was Feinstein or Boxer. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just insane too. And they got away with that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys start wrapping this up. So you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, man. Go Bucks. God bless America. And so much for global warming.
Well, remember, that's why in the 90s they started changing it to global climate change, because then no matter what the weather does, they can blame it on humanity.
No. When I was a kid, they said everything was going to freeze over.
Oh, yeah.
So, they were right. Obey your elders.
we were going to have a new ice age in the 70s. 80s, global warming, the Earth's going to go to fire. 90s, I don't know. Let's just call it climate change, and then whatever happens. We'll just blame it on everything. And they just kept up that practice from then on.
Yeah.
I don't know, George. Which way did he go? Anyway, with that, we'll bid you all adieu for tonight. Be sure to check out our affiliate links down below. If you want to help out the channel, you can also, I was going to say subscribe star, but I'm probably going to get rid of that. But we also have a link down below for PayPal if you want to help out that way. And Raven Crest Tactical. I can't say enough for this knife. I love this knife. I don't know. Did you ever get one like you wanted to?
No, I got a cheapy switchblade.
This is really nice. They have knives going from under $100 all the way up to $200. So check them out. If you go over to the affiliates page down below, there is a discount code as well. I believe that gets you 20% off, if I remember correctly. And we will catch y'all later. Have a good night, folks. Yeah, where'd I put
Yo.
the stupid outro? Still getting used to this. Where things get put. Here it is.